Hi folks, welcome back to Stacey Can. Today I am making blackberry fruit leather. And while I go over all this information, please follow along down below in the show notes. And while you're down there, hit like and subscribe because it does help. So the ingredients that you need is blackberries. And there's about anywhere from 8 to 12 cups of berries in here. I think it's more like 10 to 12 if I'm being generous, but it depends on how big the berries are, etc. These are quite delicious. This is a great way to clean out your freezer if you have some berries that are left over from the summer prior and you're prepping just to kind of clean them out. Making some fruit leather or dehydrating it is just a really great way to do so. So that's all you need as far as ingredients go. Now, some people might add in some spices or maybe a fruit juice if you want, I don't know why. Some people put in some maple syrup or some sugar. You can add sugar. Again, I don't know why, because I think that they're just fantastic alone. It's really simple to do. So that's what you need for ingredients. Tools, you need a food processor or a blender. You can also use a magic bullet. I think an immersion blender you could use, but it's gonna be a big old sloppy mess to do. So that's my vote is to use something that's got a lid on it. Those magic bullet things are great too. They're a little small, so it might take more time, but those are going to be a great tool as well. You need a little spatula. You need your dehydrator. You can dehydrate in your oven. You just need to make sure that you have the door propped open, a thermometer inside the oven to check the temperature, and then use tin foil to prop the door open to adjust accordingly, because my oven only goes down to 170 degrees and you need to dehydrate at 135 to 140 degrees. So keep that in mind. So I would have to prop my oven open. Maybe yours goes down that low. It just depends. So those are the tools. Oh, optional items is either saran wrap or wax paper to put down on the trays when you pour this on to actually do a roll up for storage if you want. I don't do that, but I know a lot of kids like an actual roll up, so those are kind of fun to do. And more on that in a little bit. So with all that, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is add the berries to the food processor here. And you can pour the juice that's in the container that you're defrosting it in if you'd like. And then I start with pulsing a little bit and then turn it on. And about partway through, I do take the lid off and scrape the sides down a little bit just to make sure everything's getting blended. Take out your container here, and we're just gonna pour a big glop right in the middle. And that's about enough. Oh, and prior to doing this, while you're blending, that's when you would add whatever sweetener you want. If you would like to add a sweetener, again, as mentioned, am not going to do that. And then just I like to take it on these square trays and just kind of tilt it around in a circle a little bit until you get the thickness you want, which we are going to shoot for an 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. And you can use a measuring, like a ruler or whatever, just to kind of measure that out. But you don't want it less than 1/8 of an inch, because it's just too thin. It's like it almost looks like paper. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. I've done that before where it's a little too thin. And over 1/4 of an inch, it's too thick for that pliable fruit leather that you're looking for. And so now we're gonna go ahead and put this in the dehydrator and continue until it's full. I got the trays all in the dehydrator here, and I've set the temperature to 140 degrees, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on to 8 hours for the moment, because these are a little bit thicker, but it's normally around 6 to 8 hours. But I'm gonna check it after a couple hours, 2 to 4, just to see how it's doing, and I'll adjust the time at that point. The timer has gone off, and this definitely took 8 hours for me. Based on my thickness. I did check it after a couple hours and just felt like 8 hours was gonna be enough. But again, you can check it throughout the day. And so here's what it looks like. Isn't that fun? Nice and pliable. And then to get the fruit leather off, these silicone mounts are fantastic. You just simply kind of, it just peels right off, to be honest. And then you just take little sections of it like so and tear it and put it in your bag here. And that's all I do, is I just rip it like so. Now this is a part where you can take it and you can put it in, especially when it's still warm, you can put it in, you can roll them up if you want, and that's where the wax paper and the, what's it called, the words are hard, saran wrap, thank you, are great tools for that, to place it on and then roll them up. Or you can dehydrate with those items already on the saran wrap or on the, I don't know about saran wrap though, but I do know you can with wax paper. Dehydrate it on there, and I've done that before and it works great. And just roll it on up and it peels off nicely too. So that is how you do it, but for me, I'm just tearing these up and putting them in my little Ziploc bag storage container, or whatever clean storage container you have. And this is how you dehydrate some Blackberry fruit leather. Really simple, isn't it? Again, I don't prefer adding any sweetener to it, but you know, some people do. You could squeeze in a little lemon juice to this if you want, or put in some, like I said, some spices. Some people like to put in a little nutmeg or a little cinnamon or something like that, just to give it a little more of a fall punch to it. I choose to just leave it as is, and I don't add sugar. That is, or any other sweetener, because I just think the blackberries are sweet enough. Plus, I like it a little tart, but you can if you want. Add some sugar, or some folks put maple syrup, some folks agave nectar would be good if you wanted to add a little bit of a sweetness to it, but I don't think it needs it. So that's how you do it. That's it. And as mentioned, if you wanted to roll them up into wax paper or on saran wrap, you can do that as well. So the recipe for this is down below in the show notes, and while you're down there, please hit like and subscribe, because that does help. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, concerns, by all means, please reach out to me on my Facebook at Stacey Can Can. You can help me on Instagram and TikTok at Stacey Can Can. My website is www.staceycancan.com. My email is info@staceycancan. And I'm on